Well, hello friends, and welcome to the Superintendent's Corner. My name is Thomas F. Orban, and I am the Superintendent of Schools here at Westport Community Schools. I would like to say that I'm the proud Superintendent of Westport Community Schools, as we have had just a tremendous few weeks here celebrating our students, staff, and the accomplishments that they have made during the 23 school year. So before we get started on that, I would like to start by saying I want to give a great deal of thanks to all of our constituents who have come and provided support, whether that be financial or human capital, to the many activities and programs that we have here at the school. There are so many people to thank that there is no possible way that I could do this in this relatively short broadcast. I would certainly direct you to the opinion piece that I wrote for the Shoreline, which we have published on our website. And it is just a thank you to the great community that we have here in Westport. It is amazing to me as I'm ending my second full year as superintendent here at Westport, how hard people are working both in the schools and in the communities to make sure that our students have a second-to-none experience. And to all of you, I cannot express my gratitude. This has been a wildly successful year here at Westport. And what I'm hoping to do in the Superintendent's Corner is just share some of these great activities and events and share them with you. Because again, it is your support that helps us provide these terrific opportunities for our terrific students. So I think I'll get started right off the bat by a big shout out to Representative Schmid and Senator Rodericks. They were able to secure grant funding for some programs for us that are going to be playing a critical piece in your child's education, certainly in the 5th to 12th grade. And what we're speaking about there is the neo-technical program that we have developed, thanks to Principal Charette and Curriculum Director Kaminsky, along with many of the staff who have worked assiduously to become familiar with this technology. We are going to be able to offer for the first time here at Westport what I consider to be a very robust neo-technical program. Now, when I've mentioned that, some people have said, well, what do you mean by a neo-technical program? So I'd like to take just a bit of time to explain what this program is all about. As many of you are aware, Westport has only a limited number of students who can attend the technical schools in the area, whether that be Diamond Regional or Bristol Aggie. This allows, unfortunately, a great disparity for the students who are remaining to get that type of technical training that we believe in the 21st century is going to play a critical role not only in education, but in the world of business and careers. In an effort to ameliorate this inequity, we have received over $435,000 in funding to purchase 48 Z-Space computers. And over the course of the next few months, we will be inviting the community to explore with the Z-Space computers that we purchased, which will allow us, combined with our NEF grant that we received, to provide our students as close to a technical education experience without having to spend the exorbitant amounts that it takes to run these technical programs. It is our hope that as students explore trades as early as grade 5, by the time they reach high school, they will know the many trades that are available and will be able to sort of pinpoint where they think they might want their career to go. And in doing so, what we're hoping, and I want to thank Principal Charette and the high school staff for working on a schedule that we hope by the second semester of next year, our seniors in the class of 24 will have had enough training to actually possibly participate in paid apprenticeships with local businesses as part of a sort of modified co-op program. This is something that our students deserve. They have a right to this education. It is going to change the game of education, and we are thrilled to pieces that we are going to be able to offer this to our students starting in this 24 school year. On the other end of the spectrum is our young students, and as many of you know, the pandemic, along with other factors, has led to a real decrease in literacy on the part of students nationwide. I wish I could report out that our Westport students were precluded from this deficiency, but unfortunately, looking at the data over the past couple of years, it's become clear that we have to work on improving our literacy for our students, and in fact, we are going to be doing that. This year, our K-3 teachers rolled out a new reading program, Wonders, which is extremely highly rated by the Department of Education. And they've also participated in professional development and work during calming planning time to align both teaching and student learning activities. And we are hoping to expand that to the 4th grade next year. We also are beginning to infuse in our high school curricula a curricula that focuses on the individual student. We're calling this a personalized pathway to education, and that will allow our students to individualize their education to best fit their needs. For some of our students, they knew as early as kindergarten that they were going to pursue a college career, and we are certainly well positioned to make sure that we take care of our students. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at our top 10 students and the colleges that they are attending, combined with the over $168,000 they received in scholarships, along with $1.2 million of in-kind scholarships from the schools they're attending, it's pretty clear that the education that they are receiving at Westport is not mediocre. It is top-notch education. And when you look at the schools that our students have been accepted to, and we have provided that list both on our website and in various publications, it's clear that the Westport Community Schools are knocking it out of the park. As we speak about that going further, I certainly have to thank the Westport Education Foundation, as they have provided funding for a number of initiatives that I want to share with you quickly. One of the initiatives I'm extremely proud of is the re-emerging of the newspaper here at Westport High School. And if you haven't, please go online, come to our website, and take a look at the editions of the Wildcat, and that's the new name for our newspaper. That was produced, I believe we had 3 editions produced this year, and we're looking to do more. I'm extremely proud of how this came to fruition, because if it weren't for the work of our students coming to the administration and asking if we could resurrect the newspaper, along with the work of Mrs. Kaminsky, our Director of Curriculum, this would not have happened. As it is, I'm extremely proud of the editions that they have put out. I would encourage you to certainly look at them, and I would also suggest that you absolutely stay tuned, because we're only going to get better as we move forward. So again, a big thank you to our students who took the initiative to resurrect the Wildcat. We think great schools have great newspapers, and I know with the advisor we have just hired for that, along with the help we have received from the Westport Educational Foundation, we are going to have a terrific newspaper for the 24 school year and beyond. Speaking of grants, we are also grateful to the our delegation for state and local grant funding that resulted in nearly 70 of our students participating in math camps that were held during vacation week, both in February and April. It was a wildly successful 2 events, if you will, and it allowed students to really dig deep into the concepts of mathematics. As we all know, if you are a parent of a young one, one of the most dreaded words that you don't want to hear from your children is, "Can you help me with my math homework?" Because one of the things that I'm hearing from parents left and right is that the new math that they're referring to is significantly different from the math that they grew up with. And in response to that, we are hoping over the 24 school year to be able to provide workshops for our parents to help students with their homework. As many of you may or may not know, it's not just parents who are having challenges with this, but we have a large foster parent group here at Westport, along with grandparents who are raising children. They certainly are desperate for some help in terms of helping the kids with their homework, and we are hoping very much that we are able to accommodate them with a couple of workshops that will hopefully make their lives a little bit easier while helping their students become better academically. So we're really excited about that. Hats off to Michelle Raposa, our business manager, who, along with the work of a number of people, including our cafeteria staff, implemented a terrific Grow Education program that's called Farm to School. And this program has resulted in students getting a better understanding of where their food comes from. We have, through this program, we have actual garden areas at the elementary school that were being tended by our students and actually getting the food from these gardens. This is extremely important because obviously Westport is a right-to-farm community, but even more importantly, and I think sometimes we lose people on this, food and the ability to get food is a significant challenge, as we found out during the pandemic when we had supply chain issues. Going back, if you remember, there were some difficulties with things like baby formula and other food supplies. You would go to the supermarket and things that were normally plentifully available suddenly weren't. And so this Farm to School program that Mrs. Raposa and her staff have worked on, along with our terrific teachers, has really resulted in a real understanding on the part of our students that food doesn't grow itself. And this is critically important as we realize that in Massachusetts, the average age of a farmer is 57. If we are going to sustain our food here in our community along with the country, we're going to need more programs like the Farm to School initiative, which will allow us to grow food and also allow our students to hopefully build better eating habits by eating better food. Once again, our terrific staff came up with many events and initiatives to work with students in an effort to get them to understand the importance of having plentiful and high-quality food. We are going to continue to move in that direction, and I certainly want to thank everybody that was involved in that program. There are so many other items that took place. Over the past 3 weeks, we have had our Junior National Honor Society event, which was absolutely beautifully done. I cannot thank the advisor, Mrs. Santos, enough for the work that she did with her students, preparing them for the event. The students who spoke, most of whom were in 8th grade, actually all of them who were in 8th grade, as I was listening to their speeches, I was amazed at how adult-like these speeches were, and really bodes well for the education that they're receiving at our middle school. So again, hats off to our middle school instructional staff for preparing our students for the transition to high school. I feel that they're very well situated to have an outstanding career at our high school. Speaking of the high school, hats off to Principal Charette and Assistant Principal Granfield. Through the work that they've done, not only in bringing new programming, but actually providing a climate that is safe and secure. It looks like our enrollment numbers for our 8th graders going into 9th graders has gone up exponentially. And that really is a credit to our staff and to our leadership. So again, hats off to them. And based on the initiatives that we're doing, I am pretty confident that we're going to see even greater increases moving forward. Our National Honor Society event, both the middle and high school events, were beautiful. Once again, students did a great job. And I'm really grateful to John Resendiz as well as others in the cable community that live stream these events and allow people who sometimes would like to go but unfortunately cannot to attend these very, very important events. There is always, the naysayers about, anything, whether it be the police department, the schools, the highway department. And while it is easy to complain, I can assure you that I'll speak for the schools. I won't speak for any other department. If you think you can be critical of our schools, nobody is going to be more critical than us inside these schools, because we want to provide our students with the best opportunities that they can have. We have your children, most of them from pre-K all the way to grade 12. And we know in that time we have an awesome responsibility to make sure we provide them not only with great education, but great educational experiences. Through your support and effort, we have been able to go send our students to many very worthwhile trips. We know we've had two groups of students go to Washington, D.C. and see many of the sites there. And of course, I think it's extremely important, and I was glad to hear that they spent time at the Holocaust Museum. In a day and age where we're seeing an increase in hate speech, I think there is nothing more important for our students to understand history, know that history, and learn from that history. So to be able to visit sites like that, it isn't just something that is in a textbook, but is a lived experience that will provide them with the empathy that we are looking for from our students, and I am really pleased that we were able to do that. Additionally, we had students that went to Japan this year. Again, this is a relatively small school district, always on the margins in terms of the budget, and our students are going to Japan. Once again, to Mr. Monas, who does a lot for the school community, including arranging these trips. But he also does a lot of DJing at our dances and such. So a real shout out to them, because to have students be able to go across countries and see such a unique civilization as Japan and the Asian community, it is really exciting. And again, we have more on tap for the 24 school year, and I can tell you that I am exceedingly pleased in the direction that we're going. Obviously, safety and security has been a critical component of my leadership, and I will assure you that we are going to work as hard in 24, if not harder, than we did in 23. My thanks to Assistant Principal Persico, Sean Persico, for taking the lead district-wide for the ALICE training that we have been able to do, not only with all of our regular staff, but for daily substitutes who also need to know what these ALICE protocols are to keep our students safe. Through Mr. Persico, Officer SRO Davis, and others, I feel confident that every one of our staff knows what to do in the event of an intruder. We certainly hope that we never have to deal with this contingency, but I think it would be folly not to prepare accordingly. And while we are trying to balance, what our students need to know without creating a feeling of fear, I think we've balanced that nicely. Our schools have made tremendous infrastructural changes, including swipe badges over at the West, and improvements in our camera systems to make sure that our students and staff remain safe. It is our number one priority. I mean, let's face it, in terms of Maslow's hierarchy, if safety and security are not achieved, all of the other areas of higher learning and self-actualization will not come to fruition. I can assure you that at Westport, we take it seriously, and as a result of that, we have had a great year in terms of preparing our students, and I want to thank everybody involved with that, and certainly a shout out to Mr. Persico. I want to thank the Greater Fall River Development Corporation for their support of Westport Community Schools. We received another grant from them this year, and that helped us purchase software for our Z-Space computers. And we have a grant in right now that we're hoping to purchase what we refer to as an anatomage table to revolutionize the way that we are teaching anatomy and physiology, biology, both college track and AP, along with providing students who may have an interest in the field of health assisting or health careers to learn some of the more intricate parts of the body structure. So we're hoping that that comes to fruition, and that is part of a transformation that we're hoping to do in our library area this coming school year. So we have a lot of things on the docket, and I am thrilled to pieces. I know I'm missing a number of other things that have been happening. I can tell you whether at the lower levels, whether it's a Science of Reading program that we are working on, or the enrichment activities that have come back after the pandemic, including the primary school hold down over at the Macumber and the promotional ceremony that just took place this week for our 4th graders going into 5th. The future is bright here in Westport. That being said, we are going to face some challenges moving forward. We know that our students are requiring more services, not only as a result of the pandemic, but going back to before the pandemic and the mental health issues that have been really plaguing this country, and certainly Westport has not been exempt to that as well. We know that over 100,000 people each year in this country are dying from the opioid crisis, and what that has done to schools is it has created, in many cases, more needs for our students, both in terms of help with families with foster placements, as well as additional people to work with our students who are trying to deal with a very complex, environment. And so we are going to see more of these students, and we're going to absolutely make sure that we accommodate those students. But I'd be remiss to not say to you that this is going to be a challenge moving forward. Additionally, as we continue to increase our enrollment in our schools, and this is the 3rd year in a row that our enrollment increases, we are going to need to provide enrichment and academic activities for these students, and we will continue to seek both government and non-government funds to do that. We are aware that the taxpayers want their money spent wisely, and as your superintendent, I promise you that we pour through every cent that is being spent, because we have a keen understanding that you want high quality for the money that you're contributing to our schools. And I can tell you firsthand, having been at 3 different schools, that Westport Community Schools is using your taxpayer money to the best of its ability. I am so proud of everything that is going on, and I will be conducting a few more Superintendent Corners over the summer, because we have some terrific enrichment activities going on in Westport. While many are going to appreciate the respite that the summer brings, we, on the other hand, are just getting ramped up for the summer. Besides our traditional summer school, our Start 'em Young program has a very robust schedule of events, and I want to thank Mr. Mike Fernandez and all of the people who he has worked with to make sure that our students this summer are engaged in high-quality activities that encompass both academic and enrichment activities. So we'll be trying to inform you going forward about the great things that are going on, and we certainly want to hear from you too. Finally, if you have not been to our website, I would ask that you take a look at our website. It is filled with information and activities that sometimes parents say they don't know about. The place to find everything is on our website, and please go on the website, explore, and if you have any recommendations to make our schools better, we are always in the mindset of continual improvement, because ultimately our job is quite frankly never going to be done. And so, on behalf of the entire Westport school community, I cannot thank all of you enough for your support, and I promise you that the growth that we have had over the course of the 23 school year is only the start of even greater things for our students, staff, and community. So on behalf of everyone, thank you for your time, thank you for making us great, and please stay tuned, because we are going to even get better. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.